Can you feel that familiar ache, that phantom pain in your chest, Dallas fans? Just when you thought the wounds were starting to heal, just when the scar tissue was finally beginning to form, the Los Angeles Lakers are reportedly circling, ready to twist the knife once more. Isn't it just the cruelest irony that the very team that ripped your heart out less than a year ago is now eyeing another piece of your soul, threatening to replay your worst nightmare in vivid, agonizing detail? Welcome back to the channel, where today we're diving deep into a rumor that has the potential to send shockwaves through the NBA, and more specifically, through the already fragile hearts of Dallas Mavericks supporters. We're talking about a speculative trade target for the Los Angeles Lakers, a move so audacious, so emotionally charged, that it could brutally crush Mavericks fans all over again. This isn't just about basketball, it's about betrayal, about history repeating itself, and about the relentless, often merciless, pursuit of championship glory. Less than a year ago, the NBA world watched in stunned silence as the Dallas Mavericks, fresh off an improbable run to the NBA Finals, made a trade that sent tremors through their fan base. Their superstar, the transcendent talent Luka Doncic, was shipped off to the bright lights of Los Angeles, donning the purple and gold alongside Anthony Davis. It was a move that, for many, felt like an amputation, a severing of the very limb that had carried them to such heights. The pain was palpable, the outrage deafening. And now, as the 2025-26 season looms, just weeks away, a new report has surfaced, a whisper that threatens to reopen those deep, unhealed wounds with a vengeance. Bleacher Report's astute analyst Greg Swartz recently compiled a list of ambitious trade targets for every team across the league. These aren't just pipe dreams. They're calculated gambles, high-stakes maneuvers that could redefine a franchise's trajectory. And for the Los Angeles Lakers, a team perpetually hungry for more size, more rim protection, and more scoring down low, Swartz's pick was none other than Daniel Gafford of the Dallas Mavericks. Let that sink in for a moment. Daniel Gafford, the very man who anchored the Mavericks' defense, whose thunderous dunks and relentless energy were instrumental in their improbable journey to the 2024 NBA Finals. The man who, alongside Doncic, formed a pick-and-roll partnership that was both aesthetically pleasing and devastatingly effective. Now he's being linked to the Lakers, the very architects of Dallas's recent heartbreak. Even with the offseason acquisition of DeAndre Ayton, the Lakers clearly believe there's still a void to fill in their frontcourt, a need for that specific blend of athleticism, shot-blocking prowess, and interior scoring that Gafford so readily provides. Last season, Gafford was a revelation for Dallas. He wasn't just a role player, he was a force, averaging 12.3 points, 6.8 rebounds, and a robust 1.8 blocks per game, all while shooting an astounding 70.2% from the field. Gafford transformed the Mavericks' interior presence. He was the defensive anchor, the lob threat, the tireless worker who consistently outplayed expectations. His synergy with Doncic was undeniable, a connection forged in the heat of battle, a testament to their shared understanding of the game. They weren't just teammates, they were a dynamic duo, a pick-and-roll nightmare for opposing defenses. The thought of seeing that magic rekindled, but this time in the iconic purple and gold, is enough to make any Mavericks fan wince. It's not just losing a player, it's losing a piece of their recent, cherished history, only to see it weaponized against them. This isn't merely a hypothetical trade, it's a psychological assault on a fan base still reeling. The prospect of Gafford joining Doncic in Los Angeles would be more than just a roster move. It would be a stark, painful reminder of what Dallas once had, what they built, and what was ultimately taken from them. Every highlight reel dunk, every perfectly executed pick and roll, every emphatic block by Gafford in a Lakers jersey would serve as a fresh wound, a constant echo of the past. It would be a cruel, almost sadistic twist of fate, forcing Mavericks fans to relive their trauma on a nightly basis. The emotional toll would be immense, far outweighing any potential draft picks or role players Dallas might receive in return. And what about the man at the helm, Mavericks general manager Nico Harrison? He bore the brunt of the fan and media backlash after the Doncic trade, a decision that, regardless of its long-term strategic merits, was met with widespread condemnation. To now consider another controversial trade with the Lakers, especially one involving a fan favorite like Gafford, would be to invite another public outroar, a storm of criticism that the franchise, particularly with the highly anticipated rookie year of Cooper Flagg on the horizon, simply doesn't need. Harrison is in a precarious position, tasked with rebuilding trust and forging a new identity for the team. A move like this could shatter any progress made, reigniting the flames of discontent and further alienating a fan base that has already endured so much. It might be a prudent, even necessary decision for Harrison to steer clear of any dealings with the Lakers for the foreseeable future, especially if those dealings involve players who hold such a significant place in the hearts of Dallas fans. Furthermore, the Mavericks have recently committed to a double big philosophy, a strategic shift aimed at bolstering their interior presence and defensive versatility. Gafford is a cornerstone of this new approach. To trade him now, before truly giving this new philosophy a chance to flourish, would be to prematurely abandon a potentially promising direction. Dallas likely wouldn't have reached the 2024 NBA Finals without Gafford's contributions, and his presence is vital to their current strategic vision. Punting on him entirely, especially for a package that might not immediately address their needs, would be a short-sighted move that could undermine their long-term plans. However, the reality of the NBA's business side is often harsh and unforgiving. Gafford's tradability is a significant factor here. The 3-year extension he signed this offseason cleverly avoided the typical 6-month trade restriction, meaning he could theoretically be moved today if the Mavericks front office decided to pull the trigger. This flexibility makes him an attractive asset, and it's highly probable that teams across the league are already blowing up Nico Harrison's phone, inquiring about the price tag for the dynamic big man. The Lakers, depending on how DeAndre Ayton performs in the initial half of the season, could very well be one of those persistent callers. So, while the thought of Daniel Gafford in purple and gold might be a gut-wrenching prospect for Mavericks fans, it's a possibility that cannot be entirely ruled out. The NBA is a league of relentless ambition, where sentiment often takes a back seat to the pursuit of championships. The Lakers, with their history of bold moves and their insatiable hunger for glory, are always looking for an edge. And if that edge comes at the expense of reopening old wounds for a rival fanbase, history suggests they won't hesitate. What do you think, Mavs Nation? Is this a nightmare waiting to happen, or just another rumor that will fade into the background? Can your hearts truly withstand another blow of this magnitude? Let us know your thoughts, your fears, and your hopes in the comments below. We want to hear every single one of them. And if this report resonated with you, if it stirred those familiar emotions, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive insights and passionate breakdowns of the biggest stories in sports. Your engagement fuels our fire, and we're here to bring you the stories that matter, the ones that truly hit home.